I wanna pick on something that you've just mentioned, which I find very interesting, um, which was the very early phase. So this
Yeah,
kind of concept, almost like concept engineering, or even the phase where the package is being developed for a
the
certain kind of
ideation
vehicle.
process, the early
Yeah,
concept ideation process. Yeah.
exactly. Because oftentimes, from my understanding and from the knowledge of from the people I speak to, the design generally is only rudimentary involved in that. There's a lot of engineering towards that. There's product planning in this kind of area.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
It depends if it's a startup or an OEM, I think.
that's exactly the point. I
Yeah.
think when we talk about a startup, it's a completely different kind of story towards that as well, because the
Design would drive the product rather engineering.
exactly, yeah, we've seen it. I think with companies such as Byton, we've seen it with Faraday. Of course, you've been at
Tesla.
Faraday, you've been at Tesla, of course, as well. So you know that. Um, But if we actually use that learning curve from these kind of startup and implement that into the bigger OEMs, it's not necessarily a big change, but it seems in terms of a structural change, it's not very big, but a cultural change, it's absolutely massive.
I think both directions, whether engineering or design drives the product, can be a direction, but I think imagine you could combine this. Like in the early ideation phase, you would obviously start with the strategic part, and that's the most important thing. What are we making? Why are we making it? And who are we making it for? And sometimes these things are getting forgotten in the early initial process of making a product. It's just, oh, we're going to have the next vehicle series coming out. We're going to have to do a facelift to make it more interesting. Maybe we're saving some initial problems, but and then we're going to put a color on it and we're going to sell it for a certain price because that's where it fits into. But the initial questions of why are we making this product? Why is it essential? What what are the benefits or the unique selling points for our side, or what are the benefits for the customer itself? Why do we think this product's going to be out on the market for the next 10 years and will be desirable? And what is the competitive space there? So you're just going to start looking into trends. You're going to start looking into innovations. You're going to start looking on the engineering side, for example. Where's the battery developments? What kind of technology can we integrate? I think if you put everything on in a meeting and you have key players there and put everything on the table and you make smart brainstorms in the beginning where everyone is involved in design as well as engineering, um, to put on a table and everyone can feed off of that to understand what's out there, then the ideation phase could be again much more holistic. And each of the teams can go back to their drawing board and say, "Oh, I've seen what design had, and the designer see does. I know what engineering said now and predicts for the next 5 to 10 years. Let me see how I can integrate this in my thinking process in my next loop, and then let's meet up again and have a look at that." And I have the feeling, and I'm not entirely sure, that these things are all being handled still, especially in big OEMs, too separate. And that's why I get the feeling that there's sometimes a misunderstanding of a product, that the engineering side develops something, works in a complete different way than maybe design. And then marketing is a different animal. Marketing has a different idea about this product. Design has a different idea, and then engineering. And in the end, you have to shoehorn everything together and think like, oh, how can we make this work? And that's again extra time, extra cost. But I think the product itself could develop in a very different, much smarter way, bringing key players to the early table and have everyone put on the table what they think might be beneficial for a product, and also like scope out this product together, not just think like, here's what we have, but again, who are we making it for? Why are we making it? And what will it be able to do? And why do we think it's a smart product? That's a very important question. Why do we think this is going to be a good and smart product and it's going to be beneficial for the next 5 to 10 years on our side as well as on the customer side?